Guys, if you're looking to scale your credit repair business, you need to watch this. Okay. So I have one of our amazing client. His name is Rob the Credit Guy. I'm pretty sure you guys know him. Okay.
Let's
This
go.
guy, he has been able to scale his business from again, like zero to $100,000 a month. And he's basically going to share his own secrets and everything with you. Okay. So in this particular video, he's basically explained to you guys, top three reasons why your sales are tanking. Okay. Rob, bro, you need to add something here. What's up?
Let's do it, man. I'm ready. Just make sure you guys that are watching this video, I'm telling you, take notes, grab your pen, get your notepad, because the information that we're going to share, like we always do, is going to help you make more money. And I don't know if you don't like to make money, then you could change the channel right now. But anybody else who likes to make money, y'all need to tune in and take notes and learn from the marketing master and the sales master, Rob the Credit Guy. Let's go.
Let's
All right.
go.
So the top three reasons your sales are tanking. So number one is you're asking the wrong questions. Now, I don't know about you, but I know early when I was an amateur, man, I
Mm.
would ask some crazy off the wall questions that I thought were good, that I thought were going to help me, make the sale, but it turned the person off. Or maybe it's not about necessarily what I said, but it's
Mm.
more about how I delivered it. It could
Mm.
have been my tone. It could have been exactly what I said, right? It could
Yeah,
have came off the wrong way. So, I mean, Harshal, would you agree? If you ask the wrong questions, that could
absolutely.
absolutely you could lose the deal if you ask the wrong questions. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely,
Yeah,
bro.
man. All right, so let's get
Absolutely.
into it. So, is now still a good time, right?
Mm.
So, you got to think about that. If especially when Harshal generates these leads, they're going directly into your inbox, right? They're
Mm.
coming to you. These people contacted you. Now, when they go in your inbox, they most likely are going to give you their name, their phone number, and their email. And sometimes, if you're messaging them, hey, what's a good time for you to call? So now you book the appointment.
Mm.
Why are you getting on the phone and then saying, hey, Mr. John or Mrs. Jones, is now still a good time for you to talk? Yeah, of course. They already told you to call. Do so many salespeople, the average salesperson who doesn't know any better, it's a natural reaction to try to be polite, right? And I get it. So I'm sympathetic. You're trying to
Mm.
find out, hey, is this a good time? But you know what? The truth is, it's never a good time,
Mm.
right? It really is. It's never a good time because, especially when we're talking about credit repair, most of these people, they don't even want to look at their credit report because
True.
they're embarrassed, they're ashamed, they don't want to talk about it. So any time that you give them a way out, right?
Mm.
Hey, is now still a good time for you, John, for us to talk about your credit? Nah, I'm at work right now. Or hey, nah, I just got to my house and I'm dealing with the kids and blah blah blah. You gave them the way out. So
Yeah.
understand, it's not that they don't have the time. You're giving them the option to
Yep.
decide if they have time or not, right? And so
True.
you, as the professional, because that's what you are, you have to take control of the conversation. You have to take control over helping that person. Because again, you're not just, guys, get it out of your mind right now that you are in the
Mm.
credit repair business. You're not in the credit repair business. You're not. You're in the business of changing lives. So if
Mm.
you knew in your mind and you really believe that in your heart and in your mind that you're about to change this person's life,
Mm.
would you really ask them, hey, is now still a good time? You wouldn't. So
Yeah.
change your mindset, change your verbiage, and stop asking them, hey, is now still a good time? So let me give you an example of what the call should sound like, right?
Mm.
So, hey, Harshal, this is Rob, man. We were texting online. You were telling me about your credit. Can you tell me a little bit more about what's going on with your situation? That's how you need to enter that call. I didn't say, hey, Harshal, we were texting online. Is now still a good time? I don't
Mm.
care if it's a good time because I know that I'm going to make time for you because I'm making you a priority as a customer.
Mm.
And in return, I know that you'll do the same because the information that I have is valuable and it's about to change your life. That's
True.
the attitude that you want to have. So from now on, now that you watch this, stop saying is now still a good time or hey, are
Mm.
you available? No, listen, make them available. Now is always a good time. Another thing is a lot of times people will say, the salesperson will say, hey, well, you know what? I can send you some information. Guys, what do you think they're going to do with that information? Nothing. These
Nothing.
people have probably already researched 1,000 different credit repair companies. And
True.
even if they didn't, let's just say you're the first credit repair person that they talk to.
Mm,
At the end of the day, they saw your ad, which explains what you do, you know, and sending them information is just going to make them think about it. As a matter of
mm,
fact, if you send them an email, if you send them a brochure, whatever it is that you have, right, a template, all they're going to do is take that information, they're going to think about it, and probably
mm,
call another credit repair company to now see what they have to offer. They're price
true.
shopping. So this is where you have to become better at sales and work on overcoming these type of objections. Hey, well, let me ask you a question. If I send you information, what kind of information is important to you? What is it that you want to know? You got them right there on the phone. You are the information, right?
Yeah.
So this is where you have to ask the right questions. And sometimes people will use this. A salesperson will say, well, you know what? I'll just send you some information. Sometimes they'll use that because they don't know how to overcome the objection.
Mm,
So they're kind of giving in to the customer, hoping that the information that they did give them is
mm,
enough. So when the salesperson calls them back to follow up, hopefully they'll pick up the phone.
mm.
You got to, guys, as salespeople, you have to understand the moment that you hang up the phone, the
Yeah.
opportunity for you to sell that, for you to make the sale, to convert that lead into a sale,
Mm,
it drops by 70 to 80%.
true.
Those are real numbers. Why? Because those people get distracted. We all have a
Mm,
business or a company we work for. Most of us have a family. We're busy. So the
mm,
moment you get them on the phone, that is your opportunity to deliver your presentation and close right then and there. So
mm.
stop offering more information.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I would absolutely cut out, man. Another thing is this is very extremely important. It's not about, you have to find out if you are just speaking to the decision maker. So quick disclaimer and just kind of giving you clarity is you absolutely want to ask, hey, are you the decision maker? But
Mm,
that's not really how you want to ask, right? Because it sounds very salesy. You sound like every other salesperson. So the proper way for you to deliver this question would be more like, hey, John, let me ask you a question. I know you said your wife. Does she need to be on this call so we can all go through the credit report together and that
mm,
way we could decide to move forward? That's a better way of you saying it, right? And me, I'm married. So typically my line to tell someone is, and this is me just being honest, truthful, and just transparent. Hey, John, I'm married. I got 6 kids. So I know when it comes time to make an important decision in my family, I want
mm.
to consult with my wife. So before we move forward, I'm just telling you from husband to husband or as a professional, does your wife need to be on this call so we can move forward? Now, the way I said that is much more appealing. You're
Mm,
treating them like a human being, not like a salesperson. You're not trying to find out, right, if he's the decision maker, not in that sense, the way it's
mm,
written here. Are you the decision maker? You're sounding more sympathetic. And that's what people want to know. People want to do business that care about them, care about their situation, and want their best interest. So if
true.
you're just too direct sometimes, that
Mm,
can kill the sale. And that's the last thing that you want to do is turn a person off and make them feel like they're in another sales call, right?
true.
So open yourself up to put yourself in that person's seat, sit in their seat for a second and think about
Mm,
how that would sound if somebody asked you, hey, are you the decision maker? Like
mm.
it's kind of rude. It would turn a lot of people off. So
Yeah.
you really want to make sure you deliver that with just being sympathetic. Again, it goes back to you uh saying the right thing. It's not about how you say it, but it's about what you say, right? So
Yeah.
and another thing is the reason why I put this picture here where it says, the doghouse, right? Because every man knows what the doghouse is, right? And we've been there. And so sometimes a little line that I'll use is, hey, Harshal, man. And because this is what happens, especially us men. We sometimes think with our ego and not with our brain.
Mm,
So sometimes you may ask them the right way, right? You may not say, hey, are you the decision maker? You may say, hey, exactly what I explained earlier. Hey, I understand that you're married. Do we have to get your wife on the call so we can kind of go over everything together? And let's just say that John or Harshal says,
mm,
no, I'm the man of the house and, I'm the decision maker and blah, blah, blah. Hey, no problem. The only thing is, John, I don't want me and you to be in the doghouse together because, listen, my wife, she's Spanish, okay? She don't play, and I'm not trying to get you in trouble. So before we move forward, are you sure that your wife doesn't need to be on this call? And he'll say no. Now, okay, that mind you, that's the second time that Harshal told me that he's the decision maker.
mm,
This is where you, as a salesperson, have to read in between the lines, and
mm,
you also have to be a good, just a person reader. You have to really know how to read people. This
mm,
does take a little bit of experience, so this will come with time,
mm,
because sometimes people will give you, yeah, just keep going, just so you can give them the price, right? And then what
mm,
happens is at the end of the call, they'll say, oh, well, I do need to speak to my wife. So when it comes to finding out who the decision maker is, especially when I'm talking to a man,
mm.
I like to get 2 to 3 confirmations that I really am speaking with the decision maker, right? The
True.
person who has the money. So what I would do is after I say my little doghouse line, hey, well, I just don't want you to be sleeping in a doghouse, man. You'll, oh, well, no, I'm good. Well, are you sure? Because what I don't want, and this is where you as a salesperson, you have to have a lot of confidence to say this. And as you continue to practice the script and rebuttals, your confidence will automatically just be there. But this is where on the third time, your third confirmation, this is where you need to say, well, hey, what I don't want, Harshal, is for us to go through the credit report. And then at the end, you're like, hey, my wife has my debit card, or, I need to speak to my wife. So
Mm,
that's just me being transparent with you. So if we move forward, you're okay with making a decision without speaking
mm.
to your wife. Is that correct?
Yeah, makes sense, bro.
That is a very straightforward, a very blunt way of getting that third confirmation and being straightforward. Because a
Mm,
lot of salespeople, they think that saying something like that would be a turnoff. It's not. It's actually more out of respect for the customer. You don't want to waste their time. You don't want to waste your time. And also, when you say what's really on your mind, when, the correct way, without being rude, people will respect you more. Asking hard questions like that is going to make your customer respect you more, because again, you're no longer talking to them like a salesperson. You're talking to them like a human being. That's what you're doing, right? So
true.
these are definitely the 3 top things that are killing a lot of your sales right now. And so
Mm,
this is why we come on here to share this information for free, so that way you guys can really study this information and don't just watch the video. Okay, don't, like, seriously, don't just watch the video and be like, okay, that was good, great info. No, take what we're teaching you, get on your next sales call, and
mm,
make sure that you're using this, because this is just a mustard seed of what we teach. So imagine if you take this
mm,
little segment right here, and you're able to close deals off of just this. Imagine what we could do for you
mm.
when we unleash our entire marketing and sales program for you. Life
True.
changing.
That's true, bro. Yeah, that's true, man. Another thing I also wanted to add, like, while you were going through all the slides, is based on my experience, what I have seen is like, if somebody gives their card info on the Zoom call or on the call,
Mhm.
they're actually a good client compared to, like, whenever you're trying to, like, just follow up with them ruthlessly. So it's way
Yeah.
too better to get their card info on the call itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. So what you're saying is when you have a person on Zoom, is that correct?
Yeah, Zoom or, like, like normal phone
Yeah.
should be fine. Just try
Yeah.
to get their, card info as soon as possible in the end. or else most probably, you're not going to close that deal, basically.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's another thing, guys. Harsha, I'm glad you're bringing that up because so many people will use a rebuttal that we teach or their own rebuttal, right?
Yeah.
And not go back for the close. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, one of my favorite rebuttals. And guys, this is going to help you close deals. Make sure you write this down. So if I'm dealing with the husband and wife, right? And let's say the husband needs to make a decision.
Mm,
Well, at the end of the day, he's like, "Oh, well, I need to speak to my wife." You can
mm,
easily ask him, "Hey, well, John, let me ask you, what happens if your wife says no?"
mm,
And then be quiet. And he says, "Well, a lot of times they'll say, well, I'm probably going to do it anyway." Okay, well, hey, let's just go ahead and get started, man. What card did you want to use for the 1200 or for whatever it is that you charge?
yeah.
Right? If you do not ask for the money, you won't get it.
Yeah.
What's the point of hitting them with the rebuttal if you're not going to ask for the money?
Yeah.
My personal rule when I'm on a sales call, I ask for the money at least 3 times. That's the minimum. If you're only asking for the money one time, you're not going for this. You're not going for the close.
Mm,
That's not a real closer. Real closers continue to ask for the money because they know that they need to close that deal. They need to
mm,
change this person's life. Think about it, man. If you had the ability to really change someone's life, like I said
mm,
earlier, you're going to go over and above. Why? Because you know it's going to be life changing.
yeah.
So think about that when you're on a sales call. If you have a client that's sitting right in front of you on Zoom or on the phone, and you know that their goal is to buy a house, and when they join your credit repair company, that you're going to wipe everything clean and get their scores in the 750s,
Mm,
800s, whatever it is. Yeah, you need to go that extra mile. Sometimes you need to be a little pushy, but there's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. When I teach you how to do sales, I want you to be more of an educator rather than a salesperson.
mm,
That's what I want you to do. Because when you educate a person so much, they feel like they kind of owe you something. They're like,
mm,
man, Harshal took his time to really educate me on the marketing and grow my business. And yeah, I have to sign up with him now.
mm.
Got to build that value.
Makes sense, man. Makes sense. Bro, I'm just curious to know, okay? So, I'm pretty sure you would have seen this. Like, what would be the difference between a $10,000 credit repair business, okay?
Mm-hmm.
10,000, 30,000, 50,000, and then you obviously like
Yeah.
100 grand a month. Like, what is the difference between, all of this like credit repair businesses that you have seen so far?
The biggest thing is systems,
Mm,
and also having the arsenal of people. Because, for example, if I'm spending $50 a day on leads, and that's enough for me and let's say one
yeah.
other person, right? Let's say for 2 people, you're spending $50 a day, and hey, you're popping deals, hit 2, 3, 4, 5 deals a day. That's awesome. But you can't hire someone, whether it's outsourcing, like they're overseas, or you hire someone in the office, whatever. You got another salesperson. You cannot say, okay, I'm going to hire 1 or 2 more people and then keep my ad budget at $50. you
True.
have to increase you have to increase the ad budget. Because
Mm,
think about it, if you hire someone and let's say they're maybe not as good as you at sales, right? Doesn't mean
mm,
you want to fire them just because they're not as good as you. You
mm,
want them at least doing 1 to 2 sales a day. 1 to 2 sales a day. Think about that. If even on the bare minimum, if they're doing 1 deal a day, that's 5 deals a week. That's
mm.
an extra what? 20 deals a month, right?
True.
So I mean, that's what how much of a difference financially would that make for you in your business? An extra
Yeah.
20 deals a month. That's huge. Some of you right now aren't even doing 20 deals a month yourself, So you got to think about that. So,
Yeah.
so when you increase your ad budget, you got to increase your employees or vice versa, same thing, right?
Mm,
So that's one thing because a lot of people are scared to increase. Well, what do you mean, Rob? Pay $100 a day for ads? That's $700 a week. Yeah, but you make that back in one client. You sell one
yeah.
client at $1,000, you just paid for the entire week. Everything else is profit from that.
Mm,
So, scared money don't make money. You gotta invest into your business. And if you are spending whatever amount, whether it's $20 a day or $100 a day in ads, and you're not closing deals, I can tell you it's not the leads. I can tell you
It's
that it's you.
yeah.
So, a lot of people think, well, oh, I'm going to increase my leads and that's going to be the problem. That's going to be the answer to my problem. It's not. You increasing the leads, and you're not even closing the leads that you get right now. You're
Hmm.
just going to have an abundance of leads. And yeah, you might make one or two more deals because there's an abundance, but your closing ratio still didn't increase. So if you're closing at 20 to 30% right now, you want that to jump up to 70 to 80%
Hmm.
before you start throwing more money at the leads,
Hmm.
right?
That's true, bro. And literally, I've seen, I don't know, like, if you've seen like Ali's testimonial, guys, he has done an amazing testimonial for Rob. Okay. And I can speak this with experience. Okay. Like, people who were not Rob's mentee, even though they used to get like, 7 to 8 appointments a day, they used to close none of them. Okay. And like, when they, they got into like Rob's program, they were able to close like at least 4 to 5 deals a day. So, guys, like, leads or getting appointment doesn't mean anything if you suck at sales. And if you suck at sales, you need to learn how to sell. Okay. And I feel, that is like the most important thing. Of course, I think, like, you can also like explain, like, how Ali did it, bro, for you in
Yeah.
your program, like he was literally able to add like, 14 to 15 grand extra top line, in
Yeah.
his business just by your help, in terms of selling,
And
and
by
he's
the
still
way,
growing.
that was in less than 60 days.
Yeah.
He increased his profit by $14,000
Yeah.
just by some of the little tweaks. Because this is the thing, some of you guys are decent at sales, right?
Mm.
But you got to keep the moment that you stop learning. That's the
Mm.
moment you become complacent, right?
True.
And one of my favorite sayings is, remember what happened last time you got too comfortable. Think
Mm.
about that. Remember what happened last time you got too comfortable. So when you think that, oh, I'm going to close deals and this and that, and you can't get better, then you won't get better, right?
Mm.
Even me as a teacher, as a master in sales, I'm always reading books. If I don't have time to read a book, then I'm definitely listening to some audios. I'm always practicing and role playing, whether it's with my mentees or my employees here. I'm always role playing. Think about it with sports, right? With sports,
Mm.
you got to stretch before you hop in the game so you
Yeah.
can get warmed up, right? You got to go for that scrimmage game before
Mm.
you go for the actual real game. It's the same thing in sales. The reason why most people don't make, a matter of fact, Harshal, there was, I forget her name, but there was somebody in our Facebook group that wrote a comment about, man, I've been watching some of your videos and I'm scared to make cold calls and I don't even reach out to my friends or family, right? And so my response was, and I get it because that's a common fear that
Yeah.
most people, they don't like rejection. People don't like rejection. Well, let me tell you, this is life. Rejection is all around you. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to hold your hand except for me because I'll be your coach. But, this is one of the things where you got to realize the reason why you don't pick up the phone and you
Mm.
don't make those calls is because you're not prepared. When you're not
Mm.
prepared for something, you don't have confidence. When you don't have confidence, it doesn't give you the motivation to do it, right? But
True.
when you constantly practice something every single day, you're like, I got this. I've been doing this every single day. Like, let me
Yeah.
just pick up this phone and close this deal because I
Yeah.
know that this person is not going to close me. I'm going to close them. But
Mm.
the reason why you don't have that confidence is because you don't have the script, you don't have the training, you don't have the experience, and
Mm.
that comes with the coaching and the mentoring. That's what it comes
True.
with.
Yeah. That's definitely true, bro. I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah.
Sales is by far the most important, part. I've also learned from you for sure. Like, for free, of course. That's the privilege that I get.
Hey, we learn from each other, man. Listen, guys, if you haven't learned already, we are an open book. I'm giving
Yeah.
you out gems, diamonds, nuggets, whatever you want to call it, that's going to help you change your business. So all we ask in return is, hey, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you follow, share it with your friend. But then
Yeah.
even more importantly, we're doing this for you guys, right?
Yeah.
So take what we're teaching you, apply it, so you can become more successful. And if you used anything that we've taught and closed deals, please do me a favor, come back in the comments and just
Yeah.
let people know, hey, I closed a deal with this and it works, blah, blah, blah. Because I know
Yeah.
it works. Me and my team, we do it every single day.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Yeah,
Well, let's get
guys.
out of here, man. Let's
Yeah.
wrap it up. And we'll see you guys here on our next video. If there's anything, any topic, any objection,
Yeah.
anything in the credit repair space that you want us to kind of touch on,
Yeah.
make sure you leave a comment or send us a message, let us know, and we'll create a video doing that.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys. Before I let you go, if you guys want to join a free Facebook group, just go ahead right now and do it. Additionally, if you are looking to, scale your business with sales and marketing, you'll see our appointment scheduling link right down below. I'm also going to leave Rob's, website link. Plus,
Yep.
I'll also leave my own, calendar link. So you guys can schedule a call. So guys, until next time, see you.
See you
Let's get
guys.
it.
Yep.
Yes, sir.